These are the best fruits for grinding in every sea in Blox fruits. If you're new to the game or you just haven't played in a while, chances are you probably don't know what the best fruits for grinding are in this game. And that's gonna be my job today, boys. And yeah, join the Discord server, a link down below. We have a great community in there for Blox fruits fans and more. We have a lot going on in there, so go join that. And yeah, subscribe, hit that bell. Let's begin. So first we're gonna be talking about the first sea. So if you're in the first sea, chances are any fruit you get can help you. Fruits that I would personally try to look for in the first sea is a fruit like ice that's not that rare, but it is pretty decent. But probably the best fruit in my opinion for the first sea other than Buddha. Buddha is going to be good for every sea, but for the first sea specifically, if you can't get Buddha, which trust me, I totally understand, it's going to have to be light. Light is a very good fruit if you're starting off in this game, because you could see it comes with its very own sword, which is pretty nice. So while this fruit is very good for the first sea, it is only going to be my recommended fruit for the first sea because even if the fruit's not awakened, it can still be pretty good for grinding in this game, but only for newer players because the levels on these NPCs aren't really going to be that high, but it's still going to do a lot of damage in the first sea. Now, light is not as hard to get as a fruit like Buddha, but if you could get Buddha, I would just use Buddha over light. But Buddha is a very rare fruit, so if you don't have Buddha or you can't buy it, I totally understand. But yeah, other than Buddha and earlier elemental fruit like ice, I would totally recommend light. But after all, it is an elemental fruit, not the best in my opinion for the other seas. But with that being said, let's go to the second sea. So the second sea is very interesting because this is where you're really going to start to learn about the game and what you can do. For an example, a very big feature in this game that you're going to need is the awakening feature, and this is going to really help you out get some good fruits for grinding. Light when it's awakened is really good, but Buddha, okay, Buddha without the awakening form is still amazing for the first sea, but in the second sea, when you awaken it, you don't even need the other moves. You can see all I really have is the shift and maybe like retribution dash. I forgot what else I had that was awakened, but shift is like the only awaken move I have, and it makes your Buddha bigger and more powerful pretty much. Buddha awaken is by far the best fruit for grinding in the entire game, you guys. I'm not even kidding. But there are also other fruits that you can use. So for the second sea, we're not really going to be discussing like Kitsune or Leopard yet because these fruits you're probably not going to get in the second sea. You could get them if you want to spend the money, but I mean, I guess you could trade for it now, but like even then, like you probably don't want to do any trading until you learn more about the game. Light, it's still a kind of valid fruit, but at this point you could probably go past it and use something a little bit better. Mammoth. This is basically like a pretty good version of Buddha as well. The transformation makes it awesome. Has its own M1s and everything. The moves on it when you use the Mammoth is OP as well. It's an OP fruit that you can definitely use for grinding in this game. You can use a move like Stampede here. It'll do a lot of damage. It's not doing a lot of damage with me though because I don't have any stats on my fruit right now. But the Mammoth fruit is a really good fruit that I would recommend for grinding in the second sea as well. Not as hard to get as the other fruits, but it's still really good. It is a mythical though, but that doesn't mean that's like super duper like as hard to get as like a fruit like Leopard or Kitsune. It's still a good fruit. But for the second sea, there's one fruit that I already talked about, but I have to go into more detail. It's obviously Buddha. The way that this fruit is worked, you don't even have to use your Blox fruit stats, so you can literally just use your combat or a sword. But I would probably try unlocking a new combat in the second sea with this fruit. It is going to be overpowered, you guys. Watch this. Boom. That's how easy it is to kill an NPC in the second sea. But of course, it's because my stats are higher than your guys' probably. But Buddha overall, you could kill multiple enemies at once. You're fighting a boss. It makes it easier to hit the boss and everything. It is such a good fruit to use for any sea, you guys. I'm not even kidding. But especially because it's awakened now, it is going to be more OP. You don't even have to unlock anything else. Just unlock the shift. Unlock the first ability for the awakening form and you're good to go. That's all you need. You're not going to use the Buddha moves. You're just going to use the transformation to make yourself way stronger. So coming up next is the third sea, and this is where you're going to see the most OP fruits in the entire game start to be used for grinding, and I'm about to show you why. Let's go. Alright, welcome to the third sea. We have a lot to talk about here, so stay tuned, you guys. So let's talk about some of the best fruits for grinding here, guys. The first fruit I really want to talk about is not Leopard. So Leopard, I want to talk about why this isn't a good grinding fruit, because a lot of people think it really is. This is more of a PvP fruit. Yeah, it's OP as hell when you go and use it in PvP, but there is like the little cooldown here and stuff when you're using the combat, like a few seconds. You can use a bunch of hits and then boom, you just can't use any hits for a few seconds. I don't like that. The moves are also pretty good as well, but these are more PvP kind of moves in my opinion, not much for grinding. Let me show you guys a real grinding fruit. It's the new and most expensive fruit in the entire game, boys. It's Kitsune. The transformation on this is very cool, although there is a big cooldown. Doesn't change the fact that this fruit is so OP, guys. But while it is a very good grinding fruit for the third sea, because you can at least probably get it if you're in the third sea by now. You could probably like spend money on it if you're that committed, but the problem is that it does have a big cooldown You do have to wait a couple minutes before you can even use the transformation. But don't get me wrong though, without the transformation, this thing is still overpowered. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to use. Another really good one is Mammoth, as I discussed earlier. It's also good for the third C as well. Although, if we're being honest here for a second, you already know what the best fruit for the C is. It's Buddha, you guys. Just like the second C, the Buddha fruit is your #1 friend for grinding in the third C. Now again, only use this fruit mostly for grinding. Don't use it for PvP. After you beat the whole game and you get all the levels unlocked, you're chilling until a new update drops and there's new levels. But like, bro, if you're trying to level up, me personally, I always use Buddha. This fruit is the best for grinding, hands down. It's how I always get levels. Like, this fruit, it's incredible, you guys. I can't say it enough. This fruit, thank God it hasn't been nerfed or anything as of late. It is just incredible. The best part in my opinion about it is that you can use your own combat. There's no combat for Buddha, so like there's no specific like change cooldown or anything for using Buddha compared to any other fruit. You can just use the normal combat you would normally use, but it's gonna be more OP. Or if you're a preferred sword user, use a sword, you guys. Swords also are OP as hell with Buddha. It's awesome. Like, I've used this fruit throughout the entire game from C1 to C3, but if you don't have this fruit, that's why I recommended other fruits, because it is a little bit rare to get and it's pretty high in terms of value. So I understand if you don't have this fruit, but if you can get your hands on this fruit from the start or from the second C or something, use it for the whole game until you are max level, bro, because you're not gonna regret it. This fruit, the jumping on it with the awakened form is awesome. Everything about this fruit just slaps. So get this fruit whenever you can. If you win one of my future giveaways as well, ask for a Buddha fruit. I'll give you a Buddha fruit, you guys. It's actually not even that expensive compared to the other fruits. Again, I would highly recommend you get this in a perm form, because you are gonna want to keep using this whenever new levels come on the game. But yeah, guys, these are my best fruits for every single C. If you enjoy, subscribe, hit that bell. All my socials down below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, boys.